3. Welcome to my anime podcast YouTube channel. We are back again, this time with no Steins Gate. What you see before you is a tier list. We decided that these videos are easy, and in this time of quarantine, we should be able to pump out content to keep you occupied, hopefully. And, we have promised exclusive content on the YouTube channel. And if you're not really down with watching us play light novels, visual novels,
that could be understandable.
So this is something that's a bit more on brand with the podcast. So what we are doing here today is we are ranking from S to F 30 anime from 2019 as we, rank the best anime of the year.
Now, we got to give a little bit of a disclaimer. These are the anime that we have seen, because obviously we can't rank all of the anime from 2019. That would just be a fool's errand. These are the ones that we know about, that we can talk about. So you want to hop right in?
Yeah, let's go for it.
All right, first on the list is Attack on Titan Season 3 Part 2. What a mouthful.
This is like a top 10 anime of all time on Mal.
On Mal, but you have not seen this one, have you?
Nope. Still back in Season 1.
So it falls upon me to rank this one. Honestly, it's good. It is very good. It has a lot of great story beats, and the animation is killer. It's got that sound that's just epic and beyond belief. It's definitely one of the greats. I'm not sure if it's S, though. I think S has to be reserved for Anime of the Year type things.
The plusiest.
We can't just keep throwing things into S. So I'm gonna start things off, set the tone with an A for Attack on Titan.
My fear is that there's going to be a massive clusters
of A's.
A's or B's. I'm not sure which it's going to be yet, but a certain letter is going to get clusters.
Yeah, well, now it's your turn, because I have not seen this one. This is Arifureta.
Okay, so I actually made a bad anime video of this on YouTube channel.
It should be on the channel.
It's on my channel.
Okay.
It's kind of popped off over the last couple of weeks. So, in saying that, I have a soft spot for it, but it is not good, and it was titled Bad Anime Part 4, so it's obviously not going to be a red or a hot color. It's going to be a cooler shade of green. It's just a matter of which shade of green.
Which shade of green do we go with?
So, is it the worst thing on this list? No. But does that mean it doesn't deserve to be F tier? Oh, I don't know. You know what? For sheer entertainment value, and there was a lot of fun with this one, especially on the Discord.
Yeah.
I had multiple conversations about this, and I know a bunch of people were actually fans of it. I'm a fan of it in an ironic sense.
Yeah. Are most people a fan of it in an ironic sense?
No. I know some unironic fans of this series. I literally crapped on in the video. I crapped on a CG dragon.
Yeah.
And I've had other people say without a shred of irony.
So
but they thought the dragon was totally fine.
Yeah.
Because everyone just goes, it's better than the Faith Stay Night Dragon. And it was that's from 2006. That's 14 years ago now. And Arifureta seemed to have a budget.
Yeah, that's not a really high hurdle to hop over.
Right. So
what are the E tier,
which does not exist? D tier.
D tier. Okay, there we go. Deteriorating down here. All right, let's see if we can fill things in.
And another isekai.
Another isekai. Surprise, surprise. This is Ascendance of a Bookworm.
Yeah, I actually called this one. I'm going to say this. When we did our fall preview, I said that this was my pick to be the best isekai of the season. I think low-key it was the best isekai of the year.
It's possible.
It's nice. The animation is decent. I like the color. The color palette of the characters is really, really nice. It's a sweet story. It's kind of like a non-event story, almost. Yeah. I was thinking about, actually I was watching it quite recently, would it have worked better if it wasn't books that she was really interested in? And I think it would have worked. The characters are great. I really like this one.
Are you excited for season 2?
Yes.
Okay, cool.
Excited. Mildly excited.
Mildly excited.
I'll forget about it when it comes around. I go, oh yeah, season 2.
Great.
I'll watch that.
Wonderful.
B tier.
B tier. All right.
But a strong B.
But a strong B. All right. Well, we can always order them within the tier when it comes to that. B stars. We're just going back and forth because I don't think you've seen this one yet.
9.
It is on our list though, so it's coming to the podcast. Impending Doom. Now, honestly, I would put this. I almost want to put it S. It's definitely better than Attack on Titan. As far as just whole rounded shows, because Attack on Titan's good technically. It checks all the boxes, but I think Beastars is something special. You don't really get, a la Land of the Lustrous.
Yeah.
Something like that.
Well,
Same
like,
studio.
Just to put it in context, if Land of the Lustrous was on the list, I would say that's S tier.
Okay. So I think I'm going to set it in S for now.
Nice. We're keeping one per box.
One per. Nice and...
I feel like that's not going to... Less Carolyn
It's not going to last.
Is a C or an F. I don't think it's going to last.
But here's another one that only I have seen. So this is Blade of the Immortal. This was a Netflix anime, I believe, an ONA.
I just kept on waiting for this one to have different art. This thumbnail right here is all I've ever seen. And I've seen this photo like a million times. I've seen people reviewing it and they just use a stock photo.
You want to see some other art? We could look
not
up some
really,
art
not really.
Well, it's... The thing is that it has this art style, so this is pretty fitting. I'm not in love with the art style. It kind of reminds me of something like Basilisk.
Ugh.
Or like it's kind of more realistic than it is anime.
Yeah.
Or cartoony. It's more realistic than cartoony, but definitely still anime. The story's good. The source material is great. And what they were doing with it was quite different and artsy. Like they tried to do a lot of cinematic justice to the show, but it just didn't really have the impact as some of these other shows. Like I would put it definitely behind Attack on Titan. It's hard for me to rate it alongside this because I haven't seen it, but I'm gonna put it in B, and that's not just because it starts with a B. So far we got Bookworm and Blade.
But well, that could be Ascendance of a
It could be.
It's a B though. It's a strong B.
I'm going to put this in a B tier, but I could see things being between these two.
Okay.
All right, and here's another one that we've got impending to the podcast, and this is Carol and Tuesday. This one I'm going to have to chime in on. I liked it. I think I'm going to put it in A tier. It's an A tier show for me, but it's behind Attack on Titan. We didn't really explain, like, for this tier list. It's just subjective, right?
Yeah, of course.
Okay.
We are not the definitive moral authority or the authorities of taste in any way, shape, or form. This is just my anime podcast, Taste.
Our taste.
And we're generally positive Pete's. If Naraki was here, I'm sure it'd be a little bit more, green.
Yeah.
We're firmly in the red, like the rest of the world right now.
Yeah, unfortunately. But anyways, we've got Carol and Tuesday, and I think I'm going to keep it up here. Now, this is like a very close cluster. I feel like the difference between these shows up in S and A is a lot
less. You're strong A is what you're saying.
Yeah, than like maybe the difference between shows down here would be. So I'm going to put it up here next to Attack on Titan.
Yeah, I feel like in my mind the difference between an A and an S is essentially the difference between an A and an A+.
Right. Yeah.
We should have probably just put it A+ tier. Next time
we learn.
This one is going to be controversial, I guarantee you. People have so many opinions on Demon Slayer.
Yeah.
I've heard people say that it's trash.
D for demons.
Yeah, it could be F for farty demons, C for cookish demons, B for brilliant demons or blah, A for amazing demons, or S for super demons. Super demons.
Sex appeal.
All right, so this is the first one we've both seen.
Yeah, I think so. Right. We're gonna actually have to deliberate here.
All right. Well, in terms of animation, it's an S tier. In terms of story, it's a shonen, so it's probably B at best.
Yeah.
No, that's not fair.
That's not fair.
That's not fair. It is very shonen-y though.
It is,
and it's a little bit tropey with the way they humanize the demons.
Yeah.
Every time before they die. Like, it's a nice little tactic.
It follows a formula, that's for sure.
And the thing about it is, like, most traditional shonen do that, but My Hero Academia doesn't.
Yeah.
I saw a tweet that was going around for a while where it said that Deku was, like, the only shonen character, like, main, like, Shonen Jump shonen, like, Naruto, Luffy, these kind of guys. It doesn't try and turn the villain at some point. Doesn't try and win him over. He just, like, beats him. Let's say, like, you're over there, I'm over here. With Kimetsu no Yaiba, there is a bit of this, misunderstandingness that I think it's actually quite good for what it is, but it does limit it in the same token.
I mean, that's just, it goes along with the character of Tanjiro. He's just, he's an empathetic guy, he can relate to his enemy, and there's a part of that is important in, like, a protagonist, I think.
I will also say that I was bored
At times.
At the 2/3 mark, before it got into the Spider Mountain arc.
Yeah.
I think that's what it's called.
I think it slows down a little bit,
Yeah,
but it's always strong audio visually.
Yeah. I'm happy enough keeping it at A.
Okay. I would personally put it ahead of Carol and Tuesday.
Okay.
And maybe even Attack on Titan.
Just crawling up.
Crawling right up there. I quite enjoyed it. You know, it was never I was never bored. So you were bored, I was never really bored, but I was like
I say bored, like I'm not, you know, like
I was ready for it to move on, but I was still enjoying the aesthetic of it.
Because I binged through it quite fast, but there was a period where I just kind of didn't have a desire to watch the next episode right away. That's the level of boredom. Not like I am just so bored. I'm like clicking off and watching.
So this next one's going to be an interesting comparison because we saw this.
Party is over. I'm gonna say I'm in the B actually for Dororo.
Yeah, I would put Dororo ahead of Blade of the Immortal.
There was a couple of like runs of episodes that were not great.
Yeah.
Do you remember episode 9 and 10? Was that the ones that were just
there was
not
some
good?
Really dipped.
Or 13 and 14. Also, the fact that it was kind of formulaic
around the turn of the season. Yeah.
Yeah, when they got that guest animator in, I can't remember what it was.
There was some anime there, but then on the other side of that coin, there was some episodes where the animation just popped.
Fire,
soul fire.
I would say B. I don't think it's as good as The Sentence of a Bookworm, but
okay, I'm happy with it here.
It's still a strong B.
It's at the B tier, B pluser.
That I might need to think about that actually. At the end of this, when we
we can always go for a final sweep.
Yeah.
Dr. Stone.
Dr. Stone.
You know, speaking of shonens, I think this one does not follow the shonen formula as much as others. In some ways, it does. In a lot of the
I say humor.
It does, but like the structure of episodes, it can be a bit formulaic, but in a much different way.
Yeah, I think if I followed Taiju, it would be much more of a
shonen
show. Yeah.
Yeah, but Senku is such an odd character that
he's great.
He's great. It's refreshing.
I like their little like detours, which I know not everyone might, but the whole astronaut stuff, I vibe with that a lot.
I did as well.
I
really like the
because
story
it's like they're using real
too.
science. They don't feel like they're like pulling stuff out of their ass.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. It's following a relatively like how do you say this, like tasteful kind of arc. Tough.
I personally rate it over Attack on Titan. It's tough between these two because I think this one is technically stronger, but then this one might be like more enjoyable sometimes.
If it comes down to this, which one would I rewatch? It's probably going to be Demon Slayer. I would say that.
Yeah.
I think with Dr. Stone, I can see like always watching it, but never going back to watch certain like scenes or certain episodes.
Yeah,
I think you can rewatch a bunch of Kimetsu no Yaiba.
Yeah.
Over and over again. And I think it's got a higher upside, honestly.
Yeah.
Now, it could have a lower downside, you know, but right now, you can't say that season 1 wasn't excellent. That's why it's an 8.
All right, I'm happy with this ordering. Dumbbells. How heavy are the dumbbells?
Well, let's throw it in the D for the time being, but I don't think it's going to stay in D. I liked it, Dumbbells, a lot. I thought it was funny for what it was.
Yeah.
There's this kind of show, this whole like, I'm going to teach you about a topic show. I guess it reached its peak with something like Laid Back Camp. That was so good. Also, there's something else that we watched. Izoken, right?
Yeah.
It's kind of
Hands
like
Off the Motion Picture Club. So
that's kind of one of these things, right? Where you're like, here's a topic, and we're going to introduce a bunch of characters that are sort of passionate about it or new to it,
and you're going to learn something along the way, and it's going to be funny. And I've watched about half of this show, like 6 episodes about, and I found it genuinely interesting and funny. It's obviously not a top tier show.
No, I'm looking at C.
But I'm looking at a hole in our tier list right now that I want to visually fill. But
I would say that true. I would say C, but not like it's not an insult.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? This is one of those fine shows that sort of flashes out your season.
Yeah, there's got to be C's, you know, and that doesn't mean it's unenjoyable.
Yeah. Speaking of C's, you can just park that Danmachi season 2 right into C.
Yeah, so this is a dungeon. Is it wrong to pick up girls in a dungeon?
Yes. Is it wrong to pick up girls in a dungeon season 2? There was a lot of issues with this. We actually did a bonus podcast on this with Immortal Turtle.
That's right.
A while back ago.
I was not a part of that.
Yeah, well,
I didn't see the show, so
you low-key did not fuck. Oh, can we swear in this? I just did, I suppose.
Yeah, whatever.
You didn't focus season 1. I did. Season 2, like there was parts of it I really liked.
Yeah.
Like as far as like waifus per square meter, this is the highest ranked show out there.
Yeah.
So many great characters. Unfortunately, the ones that I really love, like my blonde elf girl, she was hardly in it.
She didn't come back, huh?
She stormed the castle at the end of like the first arc, but there was
So who does? Obviously, Hestia, Bestia, Chestia comes back, right?
Yeah. They were all back.
Okay.
It was just like degrees of how back they were, if that made sense. Like the focus was on elements of the story that I didn't really care too much about.
Right.
There was like 3 arcs essentially. There was this like house war arc, which sounds amazing, but it was just meh. There was the Ishtar arc, which was fine. And then there was this weird like tacked on arc at the end where Hestia gets kidnapped by Ares, and that was super rushed. That's actually the thing about the whole season was it was super rushed. Actually, you know what? It's definitely better than Ari Froetta. But I think it's a D.
Yeah.
Yeah, just for disappointment and lack of quality.
D. All right, D for Don Machi.
Not just for puns. I know it's the ones that
And
you.
lack of
I know it's the
quality.
ones that you watch though. You got like Beastars, and you have Carol on Tuesday, and Attack on Titan. Well, I'm down here with Ari Froetta and Dan Machi season 2.
You're ready to dip a bit lower into the.
I'm either a really
than I
bad
am.
judge of anime or just a really harsh judge.
I think you just watch more anime than I do, so
We're
bound to pick
more
up
trash anyway.
some of the trash.
Speaking of trash,
Fairy Gone. We're gonna park it right here for now.
yeah.
Could
I'm
move up?
saving F for a certain show. Like
Okay.
F, you have to be especially bad,
Spectacularly
bad. Like F is either fun or a trash fire,
Failures.
massive failure. This one is D for
For
meh, which doesn't work. I know.
D for
It's
don't?
definitely the worst of the 3 in D right now, though, and it's
Okay.
quite a considerable drop in quality.
From Ari Froetta.
Yeah,
even?
it does. It's Fairy Gon's really boring and convoluted. I think that's a really dangerous mix.
Yeah.
Ari Froetta is not boring. I'll give it that. It's not boring. Fairy Gon is boring. They both suffer from incredibly bad CG.
Oh.
But at least Ari Froetta can actually they frame the action relatively well.
Right.
Like Fairy Gon can't even do that properly. Like it's essentially what you have is like a static camera and these like CG like spirits or whatever they call. I can't remember what they're exactly called. Fairies, I guess, is probably what they are. But kind of like bounce in and out of screen like Scooby Doo style. Oh, it's desperate.
Jeez.
There's a season 2 of it which aired this year as well, but I did not get a chance to watch it. I won't be watching it. It's a D and it's a weak D as well.
All right.
Just popped a flaccid head above a fat F.
Rounding out the bottom of our tier list then. Let's see if we can sneak in Fate Grand Order something Babylonia.
Faith Grand Order, Absolute Demonic Front, Babylonia. So, here's this. Do you ever hear that expression that life is what happens in between these like big events? That's essentially Faith Grand Order in a nutshell.
Yeah.
It's a bunch of amazingly big events, and then what's in between is very disappointing. When it's high, it is incredibly good.
Yeah, I think you've showed me some clips from this one.
Well, that was actually Apocrypha, the ones I showed you of.
All of them?
This one,
Okay.
yeah, like Apocrypha has like my favorite fight scene of all time in terms of like pure animation,
Yeah.
sound design, everything. This one is essentially like those creators coming back a couple of years older, better, and adding a bunch of big names to it as well. So like you got dudes who worked on Mob Psycho season 2. You had guys who are working on Carol on Tuesday, actually, as well as you name it, like a bunch of other like big wigs at Cloverworks, A1 Productions, Studio Trigger. They got guys in for this. This show was like incredible, and it's a lot of it's tied to the fact that this franchise is incredibly successful. So Fate Grand Order is like a mobile app game. It made $3 billion last year in like player spending. So it's one of the biggest mobile app games in the world, or just games in the world in general. So there's a bunch of money behind it, and you're using this to like
snag all the great animators. It sounds
essentially because it turns out a bunch of like the animators are like addicted to the game.
Oh,
so they all like people are like in the Japanese animation industry are like actively trying to get onto this project, whether it be this one or there's a King Arthur movie series coming out soon, which will like touch on two of the other 7 realms, which I think is like the ancient Egyptian realm and the Arthurian one. So I got mixed feelings about this one. I'm actually working on a video project for this right now.
So the Sakuga must be unreal.
Sakuga is A+. It's actually better than
Apocrypha.
UFO Table.
Oh.
Yeah. I saw someone post like a comment on the episode that I'm working on specifically for the video. And they said it was like UFO Table is like unlimited funds or something like that, right? And Cloverworks was like hold my drink.
Hold my beer.
It's incredibly good animation. Sound design's awesome, but I know a lot of people don't like the sound design, but I think it's incredible.
So right now it's like up here.
In terms of like
what you're saying.
stylization, it is. There's a lot of issues though, so I'm gonna put it actually behind Dororo.
Ooh.
Yeah, there's too many problems with it.
Okay.
Yeah, it's essentially the title I'm working on for the video is called Stainless Style, and that's like a good thing and a bad thing, right? Because you had the old adage of all style no substance. Kind of there's that, like especially the final battle is like fraught from a direction perspective. There's too much last second appearances by characters that come out of nowhere.
Yeah.
I hated that. Like the first time it's okay, but this happened like 6 times where a random character would just return out of nowhere. You thought I was dead, but we never said I was dead. Or you thought I was dead. I was dead, but I'm back.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I'm going to say B. It's not bad. It's just there's flaws. It's not the best Fate either.
Not the best, not bad, but just a B.
But it looks incredible. The stuff that AMV makers will just like splooge over for sure.
I bet. All right. Wait, speaking of AMV splooging, I think Fire Force might have a shot at some fire AMVs, if you will.
Oh, dude, the back half of Fire Force was A.
Yeah, I still have yet to finish it. That's like, it's always on my to-do list, but like...
I would say this, I enjoyed the back half of Fire Force more than I enjoyed Demon Slayer.
Ooh.
And Dr. Stone. But the first half ain't great. I think it's a B, personally.
Where to put it then, yeah.
I would say a B. A for the first half, C for the second half. Or sorry, inverse that. C for the first half, A for the second half.
See, I didn't even think the first half was that bad. It just... I would have put the first half like maybe around here, like between Blade and Dororo, and then it was just... It never really picked up while I was watching it, so I dropped it. But if what you're saying about the second half is true, then it's
so good, dude.
It could even break into A, you know? Like,
It's
is it better than Dororo?
The problem, no, it's not. Because like we could have chastised Dororo for being sort of inconsistent, and Faith Grand Order. It has the same problems. There's a bunch of like
inconsistencies,
stuff that I can like visibly not be cool with. If I want to take points off it, and that's just an issue. It can't be an A. Like A has to be rarefied air. I would say B+ though, because dude, the animation, man, god damn it, it's incredible. And I don't want to get into spoilers too much, but the last 6 episodes when they go into like these catacombs under the city, and just oh man, there's so many moments where you cannot believe how good it is, and the fight mechanics. And actually, like if you broke down like the fight scene between him and his brother, spoiler. Oh,
here we go.
Incredible. Yeah, I'll say B.
So you're happy with it here behind Dororo?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think Dororo was more consistent, and I actually kind of cared more about Dororo. Like the characters.
Well, the characters were interesting in Fire Force. There was a large cast of colorful characters, but none of them were quite as compelling to me.
Maki was great.
Maki was great, and I did like
Arthur.
Arthur was great too, but not in the same way as like Dororo.
Oh yeah. Dororo is like
Dororo
she's like
herself.
Best girl material.
Yeah.
Spoiler.
The main character though, I'm forgetting his name.
Yakimaru. Yakimaru?
No. The Fire Force guy.
Tanjiro.
No.
Deku,
right?
It's beginning with S, right?
It's Naruto?
Shiba or...
Anyways. He... Obviously, this is the issue, right? Like, he was not the best character.
Yeah. The demon, we'll call him. Yeah. The Devil's Foot. That was
the Devil's Foot.
It's a cool nickname, I guess.
Like, kind of a standard shonen character.
Yeah. Very much so.
All right, well, let's leave it there for now then, and we'll go down here. It looks like Fruits Basket is next.
This might be my first A.
Ooh.
Yeah, I'm gonna put this in A, in the fact that it exceeded and or met at worst all of my expectations. OPEDs were great. I love the fact they brought back a bunch of the actors who did the original series, and the ones that came in for the new roles did a good job too. Animation was really pretty. I like the changes they made to the original run. Yeah, I think it's an A. It did not disappoint in any way, which is hard to do.
And we've ranked these ones together, so like you could chime in. Do you think it's better or worse than Dr. Stone in A tier up here?
Oh, that's tough. I think it's fine where it is right there.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we'll leave it there then.
Yeah.
And this next one's all you as well. I think this is Given.
That? Oh, Given. A as well.
Really?
Yeah, put that ahead of Fruit Basket.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's an A tier show, huh?
Freaking excellent show. Now, I will say that the animation is not as like incredible as almost anything else on this list because it's a shoujo. You know, it's a shonen ai shoujo.
They tend to get
they got the short end,
the
of the
rough
stick.
end.
But as far as like interesting themes, and interesting characters, and a story I cared about, and I actually like the topic was very, very good. But dealing with some dark subject matter, and it never felt like pandering or cheap. Yeah, I give Given's an A. Given is like one of my top 5 anime of the year, probably.
Wow.
Yeah.
Strong words.
Yeah. Probably very strong. Maybe not top 5. Top 10 for sure, though.
Top 10 for sure. All right. Well, it's A tier on our list, and you know what? High Score Girl, season 2. We've talked about this one on the podcast. You watched season 1.
And the OVAs.
And the OVA's extra stage, but I have seen season 2, and it's basically more of the same. I wouldn't say it gets any worse, but it also doesn't really fix any of the problems that we both had with it.
Yeah.
Mainly...
Oh no.
Oh no. Oh no, the lack of a voice.
Lack of a character.
Lack of a character. I mean, they do develop her character, but it's through her sister.
Hiromi, is that her name? Hitomi?
Something like that. Yeah. Another Akira. She's got a voice, and she's got got enough personality for the two of them.
Yeah, I remember she got introduced in the OVA.
Yeah.
It was weird because like her character skin is very similar to
Ono. She's just like taller. A bigger Ono.
And it was weird seeing that much like expression and life in a purple-haired character from that show.
And I would say that she only adds to the show. It's honestly, I enjoyed it a little bit more than season 1, and
season 1's at
was
least
probably
a B, right?
Yeah. So I would personally rate this maybe ahead of Dororo.
Okay.
But I don't know where it stacks up against Bookworm. So I'm just going to put it here after Bookworm.
It's like, so I'm just going to put it in front of Bookworm.
Okay, I'll move Bookworm then. All right, there we go. So it's still a good ride, and it's everything that you would want from a show like this, but it can never really break through just because of the nature of the story it's telling. It's just kind of a slice of life comedy, and it does that pretty well, but is that really better than some of these blockbustery shows?
The shonens. Or these isekai.
Speaking of isekai.
Isekai Quartet. Still not funny, but I'm still watching season 2 for some inexplicable reason. It's not bad.
So it's not an F.
No, it's not even a D.
It's not even a D. Okay.
I would say it's a C. It's
but it's a comedy that's not funny. So what does it do right?
I don't know. It's entertaining.
Huh.
It's just that I'm not laughing. But I'm not also like cringing or rolling my eyes. It's just a light kind of 12-minute romp. And it features a bunch of characters that I really dig. Also, every time it comes on, like it returns, I end up watching a bunch of more isekai. And that also helps because I'm like such a fanboy of isekai.
It sounds like fan service the show.
Yeah, but without the fan service.
Yeah.
Like that we think of.
Not like that fan service. Yeah. There's another kind of fan service, which is like, what if this character was with this character?
Exactly. And seeing like Tanya, for example, Tanya and Ainz like just bouncing off each other and vibing with each other actually quite a lot. That's cool. And it's more Kazuma and the Konosuba kids, which is great.
Okay.
C, but a weak C.
Kazuma and the Konosuba gang.
Konosuba kids.
So we'll leave it here after Dumbbell.
Speaking of something that's definitely not a C, though.
Oh, yeah.
Allow me,
this
mister.
One,
I'm going straight up S.
Mister.
This is my anime of the year. Or, like, I'm on the record as saying this is my anime of the year on the podcast.
Yeah.
I voted for anime of the year. New season's coming very soon. A couple of days, I think.
Definitely my comedy of the year. That's for sure. This show made me laugh more than anything else we've put up here. Even High Score Girl. Actually, that's tough. But it was a more compelling show than High Score Girl.
Shinomiya.
Like, it's actually a good drama, but also funny.
Yeah, I love the I love all four of the characters, and the narrator is like a fifth character, and the like kind of satellite characters, which is essentially just the butler at this point, or her Shinomiya's, I don't know what you call her, like her handmaiden.
Handmaiden, yeah.
She's
whatever.
awesome. Apparently, you get more of her in season 2, and apparently there's a lot of fan favorites coming in season 2.
Cool.
But that suggests to me that they're going to it's going to get better if that's possible. It is possible. Mob Psycho season 1 was awesome, and Mob Psycho season 2 was even more awesome. So hopefully A1 are keeping like that big budget.
Yeah.
And they're going to like drop another like bomb track on us, and with season 2 is going to be awesome. But for me, it's definitely S tier. It's one of my I think it might be one of my top 10 favorite anime of all time.
Wow.
Like 8 to 9 region, but yeah, I really loved it, dude. But
I think Beastars might be top 10 of all time for me.
that's fine.
So I'm going to leave it right here just behind Beastars. For me, just because I've seen them both.
Yeah.
This is how I put it.
Okay.
You may switch that order up, but for now, we'll leave it there. So next up is Kanata no Astra. I watched this one all the way through. Very
Naraka
much
watched
enjoyed
it as well,
it.
actually.
How did he feel?
He liked it.
Okay, good. Because I thought it was actually way better than it seemed like it should be. It exceeded all expectations. The animation was better. Like, this didn't look like the kind of show that would have good animation. It wasn't really from a big studio. There weren't any big names behind it, but it delivered on the comedy. It delivered on the characters aspect. It wasn't really great at anything, but it was a serviceable show that thoroughly entertained. I think I'd put it personally behind Fire Force, but
Okay.
it's a B-level show, B-tier show for me.
Okay. Speaking of nothing. There's no clever segue.
There's no connection here. Is this a
Speaking of
dumpster
Shingeki
fire?
no Bamut,
This is Manaria Friends.
Manaria Friends, which is like it's in the same universe apparently as Rage of Bahamut Virgin Soul and Rage of Bahamut Genesis.
Okay.
It's not as good as either of those two. It's weird sort of like slice of life Harry Potter style school drama.
Seems like a weird thing for that universe, but okay.
The character designs are awesome. Like very beautiful character designs.
Yeah.
The animation itself is nice, really nice, and they have a bunch of like cool fan service moments at the end of the episode. So you know, in a bunch of anime, they'll always have that like end, like the artist or some artist who worked on the project will have like a special piece of original fan art.
Right.
Theirs are all from the actual original Shingeki no Bamut series.
Ooh.
So you get a bunch of like cool posts like of like, I know, what's that boy with the afro? I can't remember his name.
Oh,
You know, just I don't know, dancing with somebody.
Yeah.
Something like that.
Is Favreau in the show?
No, it's just a bunch of original characters for this particular thing. I enjoyed it, but it's not good though. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I would say it's a D. I would have it ahead of Fairy Gone and Arafueta,
Okay.
but behind
Behind
Danmachi.
Denji. Okay.
Man, there's a bunch of like fantasy just rotten down the D's here. Rotten. Oh, speaking of not rotting,
Ooh, yeah. This one's gonna shoot right up the ranks.
it's gotta be an S tier, right?
So Mob Psycho season 2. If season 1 wasn't good enough, man, season 2 only got better.
Yeah.
Like, it was funnier. It was more impressive animation wise. They just developed the characters a lot more. And what can I say? It was probably top 5 shows of the year for me.
Oh yeah. As far as like emotionally, I would say it was not.
Yeah.
But as far as like every other known metric,
Yeah.
it was
so good.
probably it might be the best show of the year in terms of every other metric.
Except for OP.
I've heard it, yeah, except for OP.
I'm not really fond of the OP. but
I've heard like I saw a bunch of best of year lists for like individual episodes, and almost unanimously, episode 5 of Mob Psycho season 2. That was the one when he got like trapped in the guy's consciousness.
yeah.
Was just it ran away with it. With special mention to episode 11, that got a lot of praise as well in terms of like animation. I
think that's
it's
where
got to be an
he's,
S tier.
like, battling the ghost in the other girl's consciousness. Yeah, it's got to be up here. I would put it behind these other two, just as far as like emotionally, right?
Yeah.
Like we're talking about emotional response, and this is a very emotional tier list. I felt stronger about Beastars and Kaguya-sama.
I also weirdly didn't enjoy it as much as I did season 1.
Yeah.
I think it's better though.
It is
there was
better.
moments I was just like, oh, like the story was more challenging. They went further with the characters, but I think I like had more yucks
I think it was
with
just
season 1.
Season 1, it was
just
like
a surprise as well.
Yeah, it just took us so off guard at the time. It was so different than everything else we'd seen, and I think now we're a little bit spoiled for quality just because we've seen so many other
For
good
some
shows.
reason, I'm having a hard time not judging it harsher than I would most other shows, but I am. It's still an S show, but I wouldn't have it as like the best show.
The best show. Okay, I'm happy with it there. My Hero Academia.
Season 4?
Season
Season
4.
yeah.
You have not caught up.
Nope.
I have.
Impendingly planning to, but not quite yet.
So here's the deal. It's unfortunate, and I hate to say it, but this is by far the worst season of My Hero so far.
Okay, that's not great to hear.
It's not great to hear. I like the characters. They're all still doing their thing. It's just that's kind of the problem, is that it felt like it kind of stagnated a bit, and the pacing was a little bit slower than usual. And as far as threats, villains, this season was really lacking.
Okay.
You don't get your Stains, and you don't even get really like your
All for Ones?
your All for Ones, or even the Villain Society, or whatever they're called.
The Villain League.
The League of Villains.
League of Villains, yeah. So, just from like my history, I would say that season 2 is S, season 1 is A and strong, and season 3 is
It's like B+.
B plus.
Yeah. I would put this solidly B, honestly.
Okay.
Like, it's not bad in any
Boku
way.
no B.
Boku no B. I'm going to put it, honestly, behind Kanata no Astra.
Okay.
Just as far as personal enjoyment. I still watched it. I watched it week to week as they were coming out, and I was a little bit more excited about Kanata no Astra when it was airing. So,
okay,
that's my justification. No Gun's Life.
For some reason, Naraku is inexplicably in love with No Gun's Life. I have no idea why. 'Cause I don't get it.
It
I
must
really
be the aesthetics.
Well, I would say the aesthetics will land it purely in a C. I
Yeah.
actually don't like the aesthetics that much. And everything else, I hate the humor.
You've seen this one too.
Yeah, we had to watch it. Remember, we were supposed to cover it.
But we didn't.
Yeah.
Well, I watched the whole thing.
Like,
I kind of enjoyed it.
I will say that I'm almost like inherently biased against it because I just don't like the art style.
You don't like that art style or that premise, right? Like it's kind of this dystopian.
In saying
future.
that though, I'm kind of like hyped for Chainsaw Man, which is another kind of I guess show with the dude's random object with his body. I will say I'll go for C, but I could see it going somewhere else.
I like the concept. I thought it wasn't as good as it could have been. It wasn't like the animation, the direction of some of the scenes and such were just meh. But yeah, I think that's the definition of C tier here.
Probably better than Isekai Quartet, though. I'll say that.
Okay.
I feel like it's kind of on par with How Heavy Are the Dumbbells You Lift.
Yeah.
Just that my expectations for that show are a lot lower.
Exactly.
You know, because that's just a comedy that I can just drop in on. And No Gun's Life I was supposed to be there for the ride. You know?
Yeah, and it was supposed to be like this thrilling ride, and it just kind of wasn't sometimes.
Yeah. Speaking of C's.
The biggest shame on the list. Talking about,
so here's
expectations.
The question, right? Would expectations and the D for disappointments, would that push that into D for you? Because I'm looking at Danmachi season 2, and a lot of the reason was just that I put it in D was because it was very disappointing, as well as a bunch of other problems. Trust me, there was a bunch of them. I think One Punch Man season 2 was actually better from a story perspective than season 2 of Danmachi.
Yeah.
But the disappointment was more profound. I would say a weak C.
If you could factor out the disappointment, I'd say it's a solid C.
Yeah, I would say a strong C if I factor out the disappointment and the fact that it's called One Punch Man.
Yeah,
it was just called Garou.
It's got gargantuan shoes to fill, and it did not.
Nah, it fell out of those shoes.
It fell right out of those
4-year-old
shoes.
wearing daddy's shoes.
Right onto its face. So
I think D?
I mean, it's either here or here. I think it's we're either basing it on the disappointment and the not met expectations, or we're saying that it's
okay. I would say D then. In more I think about it, but again, subject to change.
Yeah, if we want, we can always bump it up into C at the end.
It ain't going higher though.
Yeah, it's not breaking through this barrier.
All right, Promise Neverland.
I would almost put this up in the S tier just right away. You could talk me off the ledge, but
no way talking you off.
Okay.
I think it's. If I try to get objective about it, I think it's the number one show so far on the list.
Really?
Yeah, Kaguya-sama was my favorite, but I think Promised Neverland was fire.
Yeah.
It was so good.
Undisputable fire. It was probably the strongest new shonen that we've got in a long time. And that's with Demon Slayer and Dr. Stone this year. I mean, it's just the story, right? It all comes down to that hook. It's just got such a hook that you can't stop watching it. And I don't think that that's necessarily cheap the way that it can be sometimes. Like, I'd say sometimes Attack on Titan is cheap with its story hooks.
Yeah.
And
well, you would know.
Keeping you involved, which is not a terrible thing because the payoff is there.
Yeah.
But here, like, the hooks aren't cheap. The characters are strong. The payoff is 100% there. And I don't even know. Like, it might be ahead of Kaguya for me as well. It might be the best show that we've seen.
Well, right now,
I'm going to put it right here.
Certain somebody's been rewatching a certain something.
Oh, yeah? A certain saga?
Yes.
Oh, man, the rest of this list is looking pretty stacked, though.
Yeah, well, okay, let's go straight to number 3, then. Let's make it actually stacked. Go to the third one, Try Nights.
Okay.
That's an F.
This is it, huh? This is so. Before we started, Yada made me add another tier below D, and it was reserved for a certain level of hot garbage.
Yeah, there's only been like 4 or 5 Fs that I've ever really like truly seen in my lifetime. This one had the rare, privilege of being there with Diabolical Lover season 1.
Yeah.
And
Pupa.
Even Pupa was. It was an F, but it was fun. This was such a mess of a show. The animation is incredibly bad. It's so bad, from a shonen eye perspective as well. If I consider the fact that I'm not biased against that because I have Given.
You've given as an A.
As an A. I'm giving this one an F though because it's just so bad. And it's such a disappointment because I'm still waiting for a decent rugby anime. And trust me, if they make a rugby anime, I'll watch it just to get a gauge on it.
Where would curiosity? Where would you put All Out on this tier list?
C. Yeah,
and that's the best one. And I would put
number 24, which is the currently airing one, as a D.
Yeah.
This is the worst so far. This is schlock.
Yeah.
It sucks. Really does suck. There's nothing good about it. It's not even exciting, and it's a sports anime, dude. I fuck with sports anime.
I know you do.
But I'm not fucking with it.
For you to put a rugby sports anime all the way at F.
Yeah.
And to reserve that tier. Nothing else can go there.
It's hard not watching it, and also just the fact that it makes no sense from that's how you play the game perspective.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of shows that
they got the sports wrong.
Yeah, because you can do ridiculously powered up version of a show. I've never played volleyball, so I can't count it Haikyuu. But Kuroko no Basket, I've played a bunch of basketball.
It ain't like that.
And it's obviously a very stylized, superpowered version of basketball, but there's elements that are kind of realistic. This has got no realism whatsoever.
Is this one superpowered?
Super shit.
Okay.
Super massive turbo shit.
All right. Well, nothing is as bad as Try Nights from 2019.
That I've seen anyway.
According to us. I mean, I haven't put an F yet, so... And spoilers won't be.
Yeah.
Run with the Wind. So, started in 2018, finished in 2019. Yeah. It's making the list just so that you can...
Gush.
Yeah. So, get it out of the way.
I feel guilty almost doing it. We're covering this anime as well. Yeah. Right? This might be my favorite anime of all time. I was thinking about this last night.
Wow.
I'm pretty certain my favorite anime is actually Haikyuu.
Okay.
I started rewatching Haikyuu again last night, and it's been a bunch of times. And the character designer for Haikyuu is also the dude who did Run with the Wind. The guy who did the music for Haikyuu does the music for Run with the Wind. It's both production IG. There's a lot of commonalities between the shows.
But this one's about running.
Which I actively and care about. And it's also self-contained. It's a 1-season thing. There's never going to be any more than that. I can relate to the characters more than I can with the Haikyuu characters, even though there's the Haikyuu characters are better in fandom kind of perspective, if that makes sense. You can gush about how funny certain characters are, and you can also have this identity with a team, or with this show you kind of identify with this one team, and that's one team only. And what makes Haikyuu so magical is the fact that there's a bunch of teams. So my favorite teams are not even the teams that are it's not even Karasuno, the main team. Here it's you just live and you ride and die with this. I think it's Kansai University is the university team. I've seen it a bunch. I've seen it a lot. Love it. It's like it's perfect to me. I don't know how I would change it.
Well, you can slide it in wherever you want. I haven't seen it yet,
Okay,
so
bearing in mind it's an 8.55 on Mal. It's like top 100 rated of all time in terms of like statistically, like its user scores. It's also been going up high on the user watchability list. I think it's in the top 300 at this point. So it's got like a lot of interest in regards to
the way you're talking. This is where it seems to be,
because you haven't seen it, and we have shared Kaguya-sama, Mob Psycho, and Promised Neverland as all like I feel comfortable saying it's on that level.
Yeah,
we'll just throw it in there behind Mob Psycho.
Okay.
Yeah.
For now. Sure.
When you watch it, they will come back.
I mean, taking me out of the picture, where would you put it in relation to like Promised Neverland and Kaguya-sama?
If it was just me and this was for me, I would say it's the number one. But in saying that as a reviewer and someone who's been doing the podcast now for a couple of years, trying to be like a reviewer hat on, I would say that Promised Neverland's got a higher upside.
Yeah.
And it has like moments that stick in your head more.
Yeah. Yeah, those moments.
Like I'm just thinking of season 1.
Chilling.
The animation for season 1.
Yeah.
The reveal was so well handled. The sound design was excellent. The whole Isabella arc, fantastic.
Oh yeah.
It's gonna be tough between that and Vinland Saga.
Spoiler alert. It's gonna be. But before we get to that, the final battle.
Zenmai.
Wusso! Where are we throwing this guy?
Kumiko Ikuhara's. I would say B.
Ikuhara, yeah. It's definitely not an S. I think somebody could put it an A, and I wouldn't fault them for it.
Yeah, I think it's kind of on Doro's level. Personally.
Yeah, I would say that's about right. I don't know which one I would put first, but
I think I would actually watch Doro again sooner.
Yeah, I would say so.
But it's kind of like Sarah Zenmai is impacted by kind of consciousness with like the music and the OP, the ED, and the characters are certainly memorable. Oh, tough. I think Doro though is probably
is the front runner.
Yeah. With Sarah Zenmai, like, is it better than Mawaru Penguin Drum? I would say no.
No, probably not.
Where would I put Penguin Drum? I would probably put Penguin Drum as like a strong B+ or an A.
Yeah.
Right. So I think this is like a solid B.
Solid B.
Yeah. No shame in that.
I'm fine with it right there. Yeah. Snuggled up between Hyakamaru and Maki. Maki. All right, here it is. Time for the moment of truth.
Oh, S tier.
Some have said anime of the year.
Many, I would imagine.
Many have said
so.
anime of the year. Naraku has said drama of the year.
Slice of life
comedy of the year. Slice of life of the year. Where are we going to put this?
Villain. Oh, it has to be.
It's definitely S tier.
I actually watched a few episodes of this recently.
I'm just going to put it right ahead of Beastars and Kaguya-sama.
Yeah. No shame on those guys.
I was actually lamenting the fact that this was finished just a few days ago. I was kind of browsing through the recent anime and nothing stood even close to this.
Yeah.
And I mean, we're really enjoying Hands Off the Motion Picture Club, but
that's an A.
That's an A. It's nowhere near Vinland
Saga levels.
Speaking
of Hands Off the Motion Picture Club, really quickly, Misaki Yuasa quit Sign Saru.
Oh.
Yeah, he's taking a break. So I can't remember, the girl with the Korean name is taking over. She was like the assistant director.
Okay, bit of news there.
Yeah. He's stepping away to take a break. I don't know if he'll return, but he's not currently affiliated with Saint Sarah. Which is totally an aside. Vinland Saga.
Anyways, Vinland Saga is strength.
Oh, dude, so good.
So
I was watching the episode when Askeladd fought Thorkill for the final time.
Yeah.
And then I watched just the rest of the season from that point onwards. Dude, the last episode is so fucking good. I
mean,
it's all so good.
It's all so good, and I think the key is the saga part. It's such a compelling tale, and you get more of it than you do Promised Neverland. And I think because there's more of it, and it's all strong, and it only builds upon itself and builds up that intensity and the intrigue. I'm sure that looking back at it after it's all said and done, maybe Promised Neverland could match that, but for now, Vinland Saga has the upper hand.
Edge. I would say it's a nose ahead.
It's just a nose ahead.
Yeah.
But it's been ages since I had a show like that I just was dying to watch the next episode every week, and it was so good that I would watch episodes twice, that I would go back and look at individual scenes and that I would think about it
Well, I
while I was
remember,
falling asleep at night.
We were talking
and just-
about Canute. It was like the joke was that he was Griffith.
Yeah.
Dude, I think Vinland Saga is better than Berserk.
Oh, yeah.
Now, in saying that, the Berserk manga...
We haven't read the manga for either one.
Yeah, I've used the Berserk
For
manga probably is the
comparing
best
anime-
looking manga, but in terms of anime...
Yeah, Vinland Saga is a better anime,
Yeah.
for sure.
Yeah, I'd say that's the best anime on the list. Objectively.
Objectively.
Yeah.
And subjectively.
Subjectively, we have
Maybe Run with the Wind, but...
Or Kaguya-sama.
Or Kaguya-sama, yeah.
Or Mob Psycho. Objectively, it could be Mob Psycho as
It's
well.
a strong S tier we've got here.
Yeah, it really is.
It only speaks to the strength of the season, 2019.
Alright, if you wanted to flatten out this curve, is there anything you would move?
Maybe... I could honestly see Blade of the Immortal going down to C. I kind of started it there, but I don't know if it really stands in the same realm as Dororo. I could put it here.
Okay.
I don't know. And we could even move this up. That was one thing we were thinking about doing. But
yeah, I'm actually comfortable with it being a D, though.
Yeah, I was fine with it. Like, I didn't...
Yeah.
If you didn't twist my arm, I think we had it relatively
I think that list is
okay.
totally fine.
Yeah.
So I think we round off this one. We'll get back and do another one as soon as we can, I guess. But that was fun. I liked it.
Yeah.
I know these lists are something I probably would have shat on if this was like on a podcast episode.
Yeah.
But as an aside to keep everyone busy during quarantine.
Yeah, you guys can follow along with us.
Yeah.
You can kind of chime in the comments
Yeah,
below.
if you are watching this on YouTube, which I'm assuming that's probably the only place I'm going to leave it. Tell us what you thought of our grading and where were we wrong, because I'm sure certain people have thoughts. It's just impossible to be 100% correct. I feel happy going to die on this hill, though.
Yeah.
That's a strong list. IMO. So,
Yeah.
until the next tier list, I will say bye, love you, bye. Make sure to check out the podcast.
Scroll!